ถานีวิทยุสรานรม AM1575 การทูตเพื่อประชาชน
เพื่อไทยก้าวไกลทันโลก
สวัสดีค่ะ It is now 6 p.m. here on Radio Saranrom, AM1575, the radio station of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand, the radio station for people's foreign affairs. You're now listening to news and views with me, Venus Atsawapum. First off is the press release of Thailand's comments on the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights.On the 22nd April 2016, His Royal Highness Prince Zayed Raad Al Hussein, United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, expressed concerns on political and human rights in Thailand. The Royal Thai government takes the office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, or the OHCHR's, concern seriously. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Thailand wrote a letter to provide clarifications on the matter, and the permanent mission of Thailand to the United Nations in Geneva has been in close contact with the OHCHR to address the issues as follows. First is Thailand supports and highly values freedom of expression and believes it is a basis of a democratic society.However, this is not absolute in view of the need to uphold public order and prevent social divisiveness as the country is moving forward to achieve a more sustainable democracy and social harmony. Second, the head of the National Council for Peace and Order, or the NCPO's Order Number 13/2559 on prevention and suppression of offenses which are detrimental to peace and order or undermining socio-economic system of the country. It's part of the government's overall effort to crack down on any influential figures involved in organized crimes, which are a deep-rooted issue in Thai society.The order is intended to ensure that citizens are exempted from fear of intimidation and extortion. The order enables and authorizations of military officers to act as crime suppression officers and to render their assistance to the police in an effort to suppress organized crimes. Defendants in such cases will go through normal judicial process, with police as the main investigator.The trial will be conducted in civilian courts, not military ones. Moreover, this order does not deprive the right of the defendants to file complaints against military officers who have abused their power. Third, the NCPO's Order Number 14/2559 aims to promote a holistic approach to addressing the situation in the southern border provinces, as well as enhancing coordination among agencies concerned. This is to help further improve the effectiveness of overall government measures to address the situation in the area.The constitution drafting process was conducted in an inclusive and open manner. The Constitution Drafting Commission took into account proposals submitted by the people and various agencies, including the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, on issues of human rights. Some of these are in line with the views conveyed by OHCHR.The High Commissioner said he appreciated that the public had been allowed to make submissions and human rights provisions had been incorporated into the draft constitution. On the 5th, the Constitution Referendum Act BE 2559 aims to ensure fair and orderly consideration of draft constitution during the crucial period leading up to the referendum on the 7th August 2016.The law stipulates that any person is entitled to express opinion regarding the draft constitution in good faith and not contradictory to laws. The outcome of the referendum depends solely on public deliberation of the draft constitution. The Royal Thai government stands ready to continue to interact and cooperate with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights as well as international organizations and other stakeholders in a constructive manner. Next one, it's about Thailand will host a G77 or Group 77 meeting on investment for sustainable development from the 4th to the 5th May 2016 in Pattaya City. His Excellency Mr. Wirisak Phutrakul, Vice Minister for Foreign Affairs, will preside over the opening ceremony. Representatives from the United Nations, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, as well as representatives from the Group of 77, both from capitals and from embassies of the G77 member countries in Thailand, are invited to attend the meeting. The meeting aims to promote responsible investment for the Sustainable Development Goals and contribute to the effective implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Addis Ababa Action Agenda under the United Nations framework. The Addis Ababa Action Agenda was incepted at the Third International Conference on Financing for Development held in July last year in Ethiopia. Thailand, which attended the meeting last year, has been playing an active role as an emerging donor country. The meeting will also discuss related issues including the challenges and constraints in mobilizing funds for the SDGs or the Sustainable Development Goals and the exchange of experiences on financing for development. On this occasion, Thailand will share the country's successful experiences in micro-investment, such as village funds, as well as the concrete application of the sufficiency economy philosophy within the private sector. This is the fifth consecutive meeting which has been hosted by Thailand as the current chair of the Group of 77 or G77 under the theme for Thailand's G77 manship, From Vision to Action, Inclusive Partnership for Sustainable Development. Another news, it's PFA or People's Foreign Affairs. Quite a groundbreaking news that Mahidol now can farm for sterilized mosquitoes. Mahidol University has successfully conducted research on a two-step sterilization technique for the mosquito that now wants to establish the world's first farm or factory to sterilize the disease-carrying insects. The particular mosquito is known in Thai as yung lai. This method of sterilization is the country's first and the world's first that concretely applies both X-ray technology and injection of the bacteria into the mosquitoes. The team has already sterilized some 10,000 mosquitoes in the laboratories. Next, they will conduct a real environment test of this method at a pilot 150 household community in Tambon Hua Samrong of Chacheongsao's district by this month's end. They aim to release 100 sterilized mosquitoes per home and will follow up for 6 months. If it proves effective, they will go ahead and set up the farm or factory for the sterilization of mosquitoes in hope of exterminating the insects population in nature. This would help reduce the number of patients suffering from dengue fever, Zika fever, and yellow fever, for example. This research result was from the University Center of Excellence for Vectors and Vector-Borne Diseases. They received from Australia's International Atomic Energy Agency a donation of X-ray machines worth 35 million baht to use in this method, which boasts the capacity of sterilizing 100,000 mosquitoes per time. Researchers said that the sterilized mosquitoes would mate with females in the wild and make the females sterile as well. The mosquitoes sterilized with this two-step method will not affect the balance of nature because they will die within 2 to 3 weeks. For the Chachengsao Action Plan, they will release 100 sterilized mosquitoes per household in the community, which is located at least 500 meters away from other communities. So that would be an interesting update to follow through. I'd like to devote the second half of the program on something very interesting that's been developing in Singapore, which is called Smart Nation Projects. And there's a new award named after PM Lee Hsien Loong for recognized Smart Nation projects by Polytechnic students. And the news is from straitstime.com. Polytechnic students will, from the next year, be able to apply for a new award that encourages them to take on interactive digital media projects. The Lee Hsien Loong Interactive Digital Media, or IDM Smart Nation Award, is made possible by the Prime Minister's $250,000 donation to the endowment fund set up for education awards. The awards were announced by Acting Minister for Education, Higher Education and Skills on Tuesday, May 3rd at the First Republic Polytechnic's graduation ceremonies this year. The award encourages Polytechnic students to tap on their creativity and skills to embark on IDM projects that improve the lives of Singaporeans or forge closer community ties, he said. These include projects that harness technology such as video games, mobile apps, or virtual reality that could make public transport more convenient, buying and paying for groceries easier, or living a healthier life more accessible. Mr. Ong added. The Prime Minister's office said in a press release that the award also reinforces the skills future in movement because of the highly applied nature of the projects. To build a smart nation and make full use of IT in our lives, we need to gather good ideas from many sources. I want to encourage young people to be interested in IT and to come up with creative ways of using IT to improve our lives, says Mr. Lee. There is lots of enthusiasm and talent among Polytechnic students. I hope this new award will stimulate more Polytechnic students to do their best, to use their imagination and skills to do outstanding projects in interactive digital media, which will make a difference to Singapore. And I'd like to touch more on the smart nations and about the Infocom Development Authority of Singapore that wants to make the country the world's first true smart nation. It's reviewed today at the Smart Nation Innovation 2015 events. But what does this mean exactly? For one thing, it means that trying new ideas, building on them, testing them, and moving forward. According to the IDA Executive Deputy Chairman Steve Leonard, 2015, it's a year of prototyping, he said during the event. So basically, the Smart Nation has been starting since last year, and there's been a lot of work going on, but I think we haven't heard much about it because what happened towards the end of last year, there were lots of talks about ASEAN becoming ASEAN community, and we haven't discussed much about what's going on in terms of technologies in ASEAN. The transportation, population and density, population aging, healthcare, these are all problems in any developed country. Solutions using smart technologies are what the initiative is all about, according to Leonard, and Singapore has the opportunity to be a world leader in this field. Those ideas will be taking shape in months and years to come, as the IDA aims to try again to work with technology and business experts and bring about the vision it calls E3A: everyone, everything, everywhere, all the time. For this reason, it's developing the Smart Nation Platform, or SNP, which will involve infrastructure and technology to enable a whole host of new capabilities to citizens, businesses, and government. Now let's take a look at what it really means. So what happened towards the end of last year? The SNP rolled out in two phases. The first is scheduled to be completed by last year. It involved localized trials for wired and wireless connectivity sensors and networks. So it's not only just about networks, there's also some sensors. The second phase was expected to be a large-scale deployment of technologies in collaboration with industry partners, and with which the IDA will be selecting and consulting. IDA is partnering with a multitude of tech industry companies to develop ideas for its SNP. Besides the aforementioned Singaporean telcos, the announcement mentions Microsoft, IBM, Hitachi Data Systems, Cloudera, Key Insights, and more. Local tech companies and startups can provide their own resources and ideas to the cause, just as Singapore-based Green Concepts, developer of Energetics, a cloud-based energy management platform, and Trackomatic, developer of a video analytics and position tracking platform for retailers. And always online. For now, the first phase of the project involves connectivity, a project to keep everyone in the island city-state perpetually connected to the internet via their mobile devices. Through an initiative termed HETNet, abbreviated from Heterogeneous Network, IDA aims to enable everyone to remain online from the moment they leave their home until their return. This will definitely use up a lot of data. To achieve this, IDA is working with 4 Singaporean telcos, Singtel, StarHub, M1, and MyRepublic, who will provide the infrastructure so that the user can seamlessly switch between his or her own personal connection and public one provided by HETNet as he or she moves about the city. The plan is to begin trials for the initiative of the latter half of last year at Singapore's Jurong Lake District, and the trials focused on locations with heavy human traffic, such as lifts, pedestrians walkways, bus interchanges, and MRT or the subway stations. And this will allow providers to measure how heavy the network usage gets in those areas and work to ensure the experience is uninterrupted even when users watch streaming video on their devices, which people do a lot nowadays, as anyone who has used public transportation in Singapore can attest. The trials will also focus on places not traditionally associated with public Wi-Fi coverage, such as HDB lifts and void decks. I will continue more on Smart City in Singapore, but it's all for today's program. We are running out of time. And if you'd like to hear more about anything, you can write a letter or send a postcard to Venus at Sawatpum, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand, 443 Rama 6 Road, Rajatevi, Bangkok 10400, or visit as well as follow me in other programs on Facebook and YouTube Saranrom Radio. Thank you for tuning in to News and Views. I hope you have a pleasant evening and enjoy the holiday. Good night. สวัสดีค่ะ